are listening to Musicians and Beyond with Lahorn and Sarabian, where we bring in the backstage info on the life, lyrics, and the long journeys of the music industry. Mark, we had to make do with the Hill Street Studios because we had a miscommunication with the other studios, but not a bad place. We got, platinum albums, hand-drawn Rolling Stone tongues. We're doing all right.
We're in a nice spot, and it worked out. When certain things hit you, you got to pivot. Here we are. It worked. I think we're in a great spot, and I think it's going to be a wonderful conversation today.
Yeah, we're going to be talking with Fallon Schultz, who is the girlfriend of one of our previous guests, Michael Pace, and he was great to have on. But I'll tell you, you've been talking about Fallon Schultz for a while, and you have a lot of confidence in the path that she's on right now.
Yeah, I once I heard her sing, the duet that they did was fantastic, and I've heard a couple of other songs. I really think she's one of the most talented young people coming out of Nashville, and I think we're going to see a lot of really good things happen for her.
I think you're right.
Also talk, I saw something on social media this week, and our friend Pat Badger posted something about a loss, and he's feeling the loss, and it's someone that and we had talked about trying to get on the show.
Yeah. Ducky Carlisle was a producer and a musician, a very good friend of mine through Blue and Pat Badger. Yeah. And I was lucky enough to spend a lot of time in his recording studio. And he even got me on a couple of, Pat's albums, doing some little behind the scenes things. So it was nice, and hell of a guy. A lot of fun, and he's going to be missing the music community.
Yeah, I felt for Pat. You could hear it in his words as he put them across the social media profiles, and you could. It's a profound loss for him, and a really, really good man, a good friend, and tough loss. And I feel for Pat. And so, Pat, our thoughts go out to you and Ducky's family, and
absolutely
to all his friends.
Yeah, he was a great guy. So now, today, again, let's bring on the one and only Miss Fallon Schultz. Fallon, how did this whole music thing start for you?
It's kind of a crazy ride. Music's always been a part of my life. I did musical theater in high school and did an a cappella group in college, and music's always been there, but it was never a thought to pursue it as a career or to really chase it as a dream until college. I was on the track to be a physician assistant. I wanted to go to PA school. I loved the healthcare field. I was an EMT a while back, and so just really loved that. Loved the healthcare side, and through college had a bunch of struggles, academically and personally, emotionally. It was just really, really stressful. And the one thing that really got me through was music. I just love listening to music and the harmonies that would come together, and it just made me forget everything that I was going through with college. So I applied. I came to Nashville to visit with one of my best friends in my junior year of college, and I was here on spring break, and I was like, I have to go. I have to move to Nashville. Finished out my senior year of college, applied to one PA program, didn't get in. And I was like, well, that's it. I'm moving to Nashville. So moved down, and I think my parents thought it was a gap year, and I just have been here a little over 5.5 years now. So I really want to reach people so that they know that they're not alone, and they're not, the only person who's been through these situations. And so they can hear a song and be like, wow, her too. Or, I thought I was alone, because I remember just listening to music and just thinking to myself, they said exactly what I'm feeling, and they sang exactly what I'm going through. And I just remember those emotions, and those songs helped me through so much just throughout my life. That is my hope, is that someone out there will hear my music and it will be able to help them through whatever they're going through.
Well, I'm sure it will, because I don't know, the first time I heard you sing, Mike has shared some songs here and there, and obviously the duet was something that really just blew us away. Your voice is I think one of the hottest young voices coming out of Nashville right now. John and I have both listened and just been absolutely awestruck what you're doing. So
Keep going.
Well, that is wonderful. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. That means a lot to me. I think in Nashville, it's so easy to start comparing yourselves and, you know, to one person to the next. So to hear you guys say that means a lot. So
Excellent. When you got down there, was there anyone that kind of took you under their wing and said, this is what to do and this is how to do it?
you know, that's a great question.
He doesn't
I
ask a lot
I
of them.
don't. Yeah, I did. Yeah.
Thanks.
I don't think so. There was two acquaintances that you know, I met, and they kind of just, you know, said, keep your nose to the grindstone, keep going, sort of deal. And these are the places you can play. But I don't think I had a mentor that really took me by the hand and said, here's what you need to do. This is how you need to do it. This is what you need to get done in this order, in this process, and kind of go. I think any advice or any you know, direction that I've gotten is honestly just from meeting other musicians and friends and people who run the rounds, and just kind of saying, hey, what are you doing? How does this work, you know? And I think that's the hard part about music, is there isn't that one direct path to get you from A to B. There's so many different directions you can take.
Yeah. And do you miss that no one was there to help you along the way and that you kind of had to figure it out yourself?
You know, I think looking back, I do wish that I had somebody to kind of guide me. Yeah, I think that would have been really great to have a mentor to kind of show me the ropes and help me along in those situations.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because the reason I ask is you're kind of a mentor to a young girl that's just starting out in the Nashville area, and you just wrote something with her, Ava Connell.
Yeah, absolutely. And I did listen to that episode that you guys did with her. She is wonderful, and I'm so excited to see where her Nashville journey goes, because, you know, she's fresh, she's new, she's starting, and so if I can help her, and I can help anybody else coming in as the new wave, as so to speak, I'm so happy to do that.
Yeah, that's unbelievable, and it's very generous. You'll learn a lot of things along the road, obviously. Mike's not going to be much help to you, I can guarantee you that.
You know, I did learn a lot from him when he and I met. He taught me a lot about the band performances. I was really lost on that, and he helped me with the emailing and the set, putting together a set, and what to have, and how much, you know, how long to play, how much to charge. I knew nothing. And, you know, Michael, when he first started that out, really helped me along with those areas for sure.
Yeah, and that's a great point for our listeners who just think that
Yeah.
they go to a restaurant, a venue, and watch a musician. There's a lot behind the scenes that you have to do, all of these
Oh,
intricate things.
yeah, and man, it is tough. I've spent hours emailing people, attaching my picture and almost a resume, if you will, and you can email them 5 times, they'll never get back to you, or they'll say you're the wrong genre they want, or you know, the budget isn't there and you can hardly afford to pay your band. And so you say, like, can we travel all the way, you know, 12 hours to play for a certain amount? And it's just tough. It is so, so tough. And that's something that I've been learning to navigate. And yeah, it's been an interesting and eye-opening for sure. For, you know, the friends and family that I talk to, and even for myself. You know, in Nashville, people are all over the place. So for writers rounds, you know, we play because we love it. We don't get paid. We just go up there to sing and showcase our songs. You know, you really don't get paid unless you're on Broadway.
Yeah. And you've been down there for a few years. Do you think that you have figured it out yet?
No, gosh.
No.
I wish that I could say yes, but just when I think I've got a hold on it, something turns. I'm still
Right.
trying to figure out TikTok. I'm still trying to figure out how to roll with the times, so to speak, because before 2020, you know, I kind of like to divide it before 2020 and after 2020 in Nashville. It was so different. I mean, I knew everybody who was booking the rounds. I was playing every week. I feel like I had such a great run. And then after 2020, it's this whole new navigation that I've really struggled to learn. So, new people are booking the rounds. You've got rounds that have been there, rounds that have closed. The old places we used to play, Belcourt Taps is no longer there. Some places, some really great places have closed down. And then a lot of this stuff is also social media um, with TikTok and Instagram and the videos that are coming out. And so all of it is just so hard to balance and to learn to figure out what the right way or what it is.
Right. Right. And on top of all of that, you have to be somewhat of a thick-skinned person, because you probably get told no 10 times for every one yes.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's hard. It's really hard. I think, I can't speak for all musicians out there, but I think we've all, well, me and, a couple people I know have always had that thought in the back of our mind of like, when do we stop? Should we stop? And how do you keep going after all these no's? Because it is so discouraging, because you're right. You try and you put in so much time and effort and emotional attachment to chasing the dream. And it's just a constant carousel of no's. Nightly or every other night, you can find somebody who you just look at them and you're like, how are you not on the radio headlining shows? Yes, there's definitely people that I've seen from my time of being here to now, where I still think that, they deserve a brighter light than what they have right now. And it's, you just keep rooting for them and just keep hoping that they can make it to the top. But yeah, it's hard sometimes to see. Yeah, it really is. And I know my parents say that too when they come down and visit, and they're like, they tell all of their friends like, oh, like Broadway's great, but you got to go to Demumbrian. You got to see, the artists who have their own music that is just amazing. Yeah.
Yeah. So basically, the strip itself down in Nashville, the people that play there are playing basically cover songs. So when you're trying to make it and get discovered for your own music, you play outside of the heart of Nashville.
Yes, yeah, exactly. So Broadway is all covers, they do acoustic and band, and you can throw an original in there for sure if it's requested. Or, maybe they have like once every 4 hours slot, you can play an original. But really, if you want to hear the original music that artists are writing, it's everywhere but Broadway.
Yeah, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
We've got a couple friends down there that have taken us to different spots, and we're fortunate that we've been off the strip and in a couple of areas and watched some absolutely music.
And actually, I think Whiskey Jam is starting now on Broadway. I'm not sure when that go live date is, but I believe that's their goal, is to try to bring original music to Broadway. And so they're going to start doing that. I believe at Whiskey Row. They're going to start doing that on some nights, which would be really cool.
As a musician, who are your favorite inspiration?
Currently, it would be Carly Pierce and Kelsey Ballerini. I love what they've been able to take with their heartbreak and to be able to share it with the world. I think what Kelsey is doing right now, with what she went through, there's a lot of people out there that are really loving it and just really able to connect with it, and how she was able to take something so tragic and turn it to be able to share with the world is pretty cool. And Carly too, I think she's a phenomenal writer and performer as well. There's a couple other people that I look up to as well. Brett Eldridge is a big one. I used to listen to him all the time, especially throughout college. I just love that he's always stayed true to himself. He hasn't really released a lot of music lately, but back then he had a lot of great music. Chris Young as well. So they were also guys I looked up to. But I love that heartbreak stuff, even though it's so sad. But there's something about it that I just love to write about and listen to.
Mm-hmm. How long will Taylor Swift stay with Travis Kelce once he gets in?
Yeah. Oh man, that's so. When I saw the news that it might be happening, I got to admit, I was on the bandwagon a little bit for it, but yeah, I love all the memes and the pictures that are coming out from it. I think it's too funny. You know, I don't know. I don't know how I would handle it. And part of me wonders if, maybe I'm still where I'm at right now and maybe not as far along as I'd want to be, so that, God can kind of say, hey, you need to learn a little bit more of this first, or you need to be prepared more before we go there. Because I think once you go to that level of fame, you really can't go back. And I think it's so risky almost, and touchy, because you really never get that privacy again. So I don't know. I mean, I don't know if I would get a wig and a ball cap and some sunglasses, or maybe dye my hair, get some extensions, but that could be fun to kind of change it up a bit. But
It's
I'd probably go with the wig. Yeah.
That being said, where do you see yourself in 5 or 10 years? What is your ultimate goal, and what would you like to look back on and say, this is me and this is what I've created?
Ooh, I really would love to have a cut on the radio. I would love for another artist to sing one of my songs. And that would be a good 5-year goal, just to have somebody who loved my song enough that they wanted to record it themselves so that more people could hear it. But I would like to open for somebody too. I think that would be cool.
You brought that up, and it's an interesting dichotomy. You're a performer and a songwriter, and the first thing you went to, I want my songs to be played by someone else. Is that really at heart? You are a songwriter first and a performer second, or do you make that distinction?
Well, I think I just love music so much that I want to be involved where I can. And no, I always say, like, no matter which comes first, I would be happy. I think that I lead with the songwriting because I love that part. I also love singing, but I just wonder if maybe getting a song cut might be more attainable maybe than opening for some. I don't know. That's tough. I think I'm both, but it kind of flip-flops.
Right. So we're talking a lot about music, and we want to hear some of your music. So what song would you like to be cut by someone else? And we're going to play it for our listeners of Musicians and Beyond.
Oh, Lie or Called It Love. I think both of them are songs that I've written by myself. And I just think a lot of people could resonate with it. I think, they could be like a ballad sort of thing, maybe by Reba.
Awesome. Let's listen to Fallon Schultz. This is A Lie.
You say you need to go find yourself, but I know that's just not true. I bet there's someone new out there you've been going home to. And like always, I can see the truth in your eyes, but I don't think I wanna hear this truth tonight. So lie, go on and tell your best one. Make me believe that what we had wasn't only just another one of your lies. 'Cause I don't wanna hear this truth, that you're over me and over us, all we've ever been through. So if this is you telling me you don't want me anymore, baby, please lie. You tell me we're not meant to be, you've thought this all along, but these words you're saying, I'm hoping are only lies rolling off your tongue. You say you've lost feeling and that I should find someone faithful. I guess I didn't realize the times you lied. I should have been more grateful. So lie, go on and tell your best one. Make me believe that what we had wasn't only just another one of your lies. 'Cause I don't wanna hear this truth, that you're over me and over is you telling me you don't want me anymore. Baby, please lie. Just stop talking. This is too much to bear. All the times I begged for the truth, and you just watched and stood there. And now when you feel it's right to be upfront and honest, is the time you have the power to break me down hardest. So I go on and tell your best one, make me believe that what we had wasn't only just another one of your lies. 'Cause I don't wanna hear this truth, that you're over me and over us, all we've ever been through. So if this is you telling me you don't want me anymore, if this is you telling me you don't want me anymore, that you don't love me anymore.
All right, that was
Baby,
Lie with Fallon
please
Schultz. Fallon, thank you so much.
lie.
Tell us about that song, how you wrote that, and what the inspiration was behind it.
Yeah, gosh, so I actually call Lie my baby song because it's one of the first songs that I wrote when I moved to Nashville. And I've kind of kept it in my pocket for the right time to be released because anytime I play it out, people just love that song. And so I've been waiting, till I have a bigger platform, a bigger following, just so that when I do release it, more people would be able to hear it. But essentially the song, I wrote it a long time ago. I was in a relationship with a guy who unfortunately didn't feel that he could tell me the truth. And so it was lie after lie after lie after lie. And it hurt so bad. And it hurt so bad that one day he came and laid everything out on the table, told me the truth from top to bottom, and just laid it all out. And it hurt so bad in that moment that I wanted him to tell me he was lying, but it turns out he wasn't. And so that's really where the song came from, is just getting the news that you don't want to hear and just hoping for that one moment that it actually is a lie.
Now, Fallon, you mentioned the songwriting. You do it on your own. Do you prefer to write alone, or do you like to collaborate? And what's your writing process like? Where do the inspirations come from? And is it when you're 3 o'clock in the morning, or do you set a schedule and work off of that?
Yeah, that's a great question. The
I
song
ask a lot
ideas
of those.
kind of, yeah. The song ideas come completely at random. Sometimes they can come in the middle of the night. Most of the time they can come, when when I'm driving. They can come at home when I'm watching a TV show or just listening to someone else talk. It really can come from wherever. But I like to write solo a lot, but I'm trying to branch out more into co-writes because I realize that in order to grow as a songwriter, I need to do that because I have a tendency to stay in the slow, sad, mid-tempo sort of vibe. And I really want to try to get more upbeat anthem songs. But I do enjoy writing by myself a lot. I think it's a good stress reliever for me, and it's just something that I can dive into and just put the words together and see how it comes with a melody, which I really like. But as far as a process, I really have no set process, like verse first or chorus first or anything. I just kind of write, and whatever happens.
So let me ask you, what do you have coming up next? What's on in store for Fallon Schultz, and what's the next step for you?
Starting in November, we're going to start recording an acoustic EP, which I'm super excited about. I've got a lot of songs, and again, just want the world to hear them. So don't really want to get them like totally produced, but just keep it stripped and just release it to the world.
Give us a little background on who you're working with, your producers, or who's in the studio with you, musicians, otherwise.
Yeah, absolutely. So Lie was recorded by Andrew King with Five King Studios. And then the acoustic EP, I'm looking to record that with our buddy Jake Gardner. He currently plays with Riley Green, but is also dipping into the producing side of music as well. And so he's a good buddy of mine and Michael's, and helped Michael produce a couple of his songs. And so I'm looking forward to going into the studio with him.
Excellent. That's great. Michael's got a bunch of really, really good songs. Fender Bender came out. Absolutely phenomenal song.
Yeah.
Great duality to that. And but we really, really believe that, you know, as good as Michael is, we really think the star of the family is right there.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much.
A couple of times you've mentioned, you know, working in the studio and stripping a song down. Do you prefer acoustic, or do you prefer the big production behind it?
I prefer the acoustic. I think there's something that's so sentimental about simplicity in a song, and usually the more stripped down they are, the more heartfelt they are, and I just love that rainy day, cold, sad song vibe. I just can't seem to get away from it.
If you weren't doing music, what would you be doing?
I would probably be in the healthcare field. I do miss it. I do love being around the hospital, being around healthcare for sure.
So your rounds that you're doing down there, anyone in particular that's putting them up there right now that you're really having a lot of fun being out there, you know, acoustically in a set and going around with?
So the Commodore Grill is really fun to play at. It's kind of an OG place where I started, and that's always fun to play with a bunch of friends around town. You know, Jesse Coffey, I'll be playing there with him on Saturday. Justin Love, Brina Kay, a couple people that I just played with last weekend, and they're a lot of fun to play out with. Everybody's got their own style, their own way of strumming the guitar, their own way of singing, harmonizing. Live Oak is always fun to play at. I always really want to play there. I feel like some of the bigger names that you can see will be there, and so I'm actually playing there tonight, which I'm super excited about, with a round called Rebranded. So I don't really know anybody that's in the round with me, but really excited to get out there and meet new people.
Let's talk about another song that you wrote. What was your second favorite song that you've written that would like to play for our listeners?
Probably my second favorite song that I've written would probably be Home in Mind. I actually did write that about Michael. And that's not out yet on Spotify, but it is on YouTube. And so I'm hoping that would be able to be on the acoustic EP that we record coming up soon.
Okay. Do you think that's worthy of us playing it for our listeners?
I think so.
All right, let's play it.
There are roads and there are ways that haven't been touched before being replaced. There've been dreams that haven't been chased. Yet there are boys who do it all but stay. So let my arms be what you need to hold you up. Let my touch be the reassurance you are enough. Let my comfort be the thing you crave when sturdy ground starts to cave. Let my love take you from lost to found. And when you're out on the road and missing things you leave behind, yeah, I wanna be the home you had in mind. Yeah, there is time that hasn't been spent. There are moments we haven't seen yet. There are days we can never get back. Yeah, this life, well, it goes by fast. So let my arms be what you need reassurance you are enough. Let my comfort be the thing you crave when sturdy ground starts to cave. Let my love take you from lost to found. And when you're out on the road and missing things you leave behind, yeah, I wanna be the home you had in mind. Yeah, there are things we can't hold on to, but there's that one, no matter how much running you do. So let my arms be what you need to hold you up. Let my touch be the reassurance you are enough. Let my comfort be the thing you crave when sturdy ground starts to cave. Let my love take you from lost to found. And when you're out on the road and missing things you leave behind, yeah, I wanna be the home you had in mind.
All righty, Fallon Schultz. Fallon, how do people find where you're going to be? Do you have Instagram, Facebook, all of that stuff?
Yeah, all the things. I am on Facebook at Fallon Schultz Music, Instagram at Fallon Schultz _. Yeah, and TikTok too, all the stuff.
Before we move too far off that song we just heard, I have to ask, you said you wrote it about Michael. Give me some background on what about Michael brought that song about.
So it's really funny because I wrote it before we started dating, which is, yeah. And I think with knowing he was a musician, I just knew that he was going to be on the road all the time, you know, always kind of everywhere, just doing his thing, chasing his dream. And I always wanted to be that home that he comes back to.
Pretty good.
Yeah, it is a tough life. You know, when you make it, you have to be a special person to leave home, leave your loved ones, leave your children, leave your parents, whoever.
Yeah, it is. And it does get hard. And, you know, I think what Michael and I have, which is so great, is that we're both in the industry, so we can understand that, you know, when he's on the road on the weekend or I'm on the road on the weekend, we both get it. We both understand and we get why we have to do what we do. And, you know, family is really supportive from both sides. They encourage us. And although we miss more birthday parties than we'd hoped, they're all cheering us on. And thank goodness for FaceTime.
When are you going to be traveling up to Michael's hometown and get up to the New England area? Spend some time with us out on the road around Boston. We got a new friend here in you,
Yeah.
and we look forward to continuing that and seeing more from you, because we really, really, really think, and I've said it a number of times, I tell people you got to hear this girl's voice. So
Thank you.
And
so
I've
much.
heard him say it.
It's been so wonderful getting to talk with you guys and just be able to be on the podcast. And know it's been a long time coming, so I'm glad we were able to make it work.
So once again, ladies and gentlemen, you are listening to Musicians and Beyond with Lahorn and Sarabian, and we were talking with Miss Fallon Schultz, and she's down in Nashville, Tennessee right now, and she's doing a great job. And we want to thank her once again for coming on with us.
yes, thank you, Fallon, and we hope you enjoyed the music. We hope you download all her songs, and we hope you follow on all her socials.
Absolutely. I can't wait to see her
Cannot wait.
journey, Mark. She's awesome.
Wonderful. Thank you guys
Thank
so
you,
much
Fallon.
again.
Hey, have a great night at the round tonight. Enjoy.
Thank you guys.